now, PINA Uganda is here at Jakayz Secondary School in Kabowa. We are having a session with these students about HIV, actually an outreach about HIV. We haven't had one since the beginning of this year, but we are really very excited to have a talk with these guys, a one-on-one question and answer approach.
Okay, Nakato, please stand up and introduce your big sister. And then
my name is Nakato Eva. Have you ever seen me anywhere?
yes.
Where? Mukede TV. So yes, I'm happy that some of you have seen me. So my story won't be new to some of you, right? And this is my twin sister, Babidi Robina. And you see we are very identical. Okay, so biologically we were born two. Just the two of us. And I always thank God for that, that I was lucky I was born with someone. Because there are other people who don't have parents and don't even have sisters, don't have sisters and brothers. Are we together? My twin sister and I were both born with HIV. Do we look like we were born with HIV?
No.
People acquire HIV through different ways. And I believe that all of us know those different ways. Some were born with it, others through blood transfusion, and other different ways. But me and my sister were born with what? HIV. But our dad isn't HIV positive. It was only our mom and us. And she also got it through what? Blood transfusion. You know, they used not to screen blood. You know what screening blood? Before you donate, they have to check your blood to see if you're fit to donate blood. So those days, they used not to screen blood to check. And I was in P6 and my sister was in P7. Because I fell sick in P5, that's why I had to repeat a class because I fell sick. And by then I hadn't known that what? I was positive. And the doctors could not just wake up one morning and disclose to you that, you know what, Eva, you are positive. Because they thought that you're too young to get such information. So then one day, it was at night, and then our mom sits us down outside. We were at our judge's place. So our mom sat us down on a bench and then started asking us about, do you know HIV? Have you heard of HIV? What would you do if you ever found out that you're HIV positive? And of course, like any other young child, you would be like, no, that cannot, we shouldn't even be talking about that. Why do you even bring up this topic? So then she told us that our blood was different. Then my sister had to ask her, how was our blood different? Then that's when she brought up this whole topic. And then she told us you were born HIV positive, and she told us how she also got infected. So of course it was a series of emotions. We had to cry, we had to blame God for why he did this to us. You know, like any other child, it's like waking up and they tell you that you were born HIV positive and all along you didn't know. You thought your life, because we would always fall sick and then we would get back, get well. So it was hard to believe that. That is a lot of... And then the other problem is our dad also did not know about it because we were not living with our dad. We were living with our mom. So our dad got to know later on, after we had even started treatment, then we had even started getting used. But then in primary, because in primary school we did not really face a lot of stigma because no one knew. But you know, in the community where we lived, you know rumors, someone just suspects or someone hears something or someone spots you going to the clinic somewhere and it's like, why is she going to that specific clinic? Then she tries to find out, and that's how they started getting to know slowly by slowly. And then they would be like, temuzanya n'abaana abo balina siriimu. Abaana abo temukozesa bintu byabwe. So that is how they start doing it. That is what they call stigma. Ng'ososola bali ku muntu omulala. Then in secondary, I think that is when it started getting worse. Secondary, I remember I used not to disclose my status, only if you were very close to me. And not just a best friend, but someone very, very close to me. Because I would have like 5 best friends, but I would have that one person who would. So one day, like, you know, dormitory staff, muli mudomu. So these guys are sleeping here, you're sleeping here. So sometimes we would like share cups. And then they reached a point where my medicine, wayonyadeko ngosanusiza empeke mumazi, then you drink the way it tastes. So that is how my friends were starting to, like, they started getting that whenever they would use my cup. And I hadn't realized it because for me I had gotten used to the medicine. And now it was part of me, because at first the side effects were hard. Sometimes you feel like you want to vomit, sometimes you feel like it's sour. But now I had gotten used to it. But then my friends started complaining about my cups. They were like, your cups smell like drugs. Eh? It's like you have some medicine you're taking. And I was like, no, you know, I have this sickle cell problem. Then I would sometimes, you know, it's just the heart, so I'm always on treatment. Then you would always find something to lie about, you know, because every time they would complain about the cups. So what I did, I started getting one cup, and that was just for me. And the good thing that all of you are studying. So, mubimanyi bino byenjogerako. And you've seen it where you live, right? Yeah, so at the hospital, then we decided to find someone we confide in. To confide in someone means to trust someone we can trust and we can talk to about certain issues. So she was the person that we met. She was a counselor, but we didn't really know much about her. We just saw her as any other normal counselor. We just thought that, okay, if the others are rude, then of course she's also rude. And when you tell someone your problem, do you know I experienced this? Do you know I'm going through this? Then the next morning, the whole clinic will know that, Eva, badde kuchino, Eva, akoze bwati. So we're like, aste tugenda kuddamu kubabuulira our problems. So when it was, sometime my sister had even given up on the medicine. She brought all the medicine and put it on their desk and told them, do you know what, from today onwards, let me die. After all, the end result is death. Because we always had that mindset, that after all, why are we even studying? We are going to die. Why are we even doing this? We are going to die after all. So we always had that. So she just brought the medicine, put it on the table, and was like, here is your medicine, I don't care anymore. After all, we are going to die. She bonded with us physically. We wouldn't just meet her at the hospital, in her clinic, in her office, but she would always pay us visits just to check on us. When we come and we are hungry, she would help. So that is how she gained our trust. So in senior 4, I fall sick at school. Now when I fall sick, I was supposed to pack my things because my dad was coming for me. Then when my dad came for me, I thought I had packed the envelope of my medicine in my bag, but I forgot. Then I just carried my bag and went. So as I was leaving, we were leaving, then another friend of mine, who is not the one I disclosed to, another friend of mine came rushing with the envelope. And then students had gone out of classroom, you know, evening. You're outside, you're chatting, preparing for maybe sports or preparing for preps. You've just gotten out of class. Then our dad had also arrived. Then my other friend came with the envelope. And she came running because she thought I was going to forget it. And she thought my dad knew anyway. Actually, she didn't even know the status, but she knew that it was for other things, allergies, sickle cell, whatever we would tell them. So she came rushing and she was like, Eva's forgotten her medicine. Then my dad was like, medicine? And remember the kids were around, you know, like outside when you're just from classes. Akadekavuze, you're going to the dormitories, preparing to go to the dormitories. So then she comes with the envelope, and then my dad, she gives it to my dad. She was like, Eva yela bide dagala liye. Then my dad opens it and sees tins. And the tins, of course, he didn't know that they were ARVs, but they were like quite so many drugs for such a young girl to carry around every day. He was concerned. Then he asked the school nurse. And he called for the school nurse. The school nurse came where we were. And then she observed the tins and then told him, this looked like ARVs. So just imagine, someone was near, the students who were around just heard, this looked like ARVs. how come I did not know about this? I've been living with these kids for all these years and I did not. So it was just chaos at home. Then after some time, I get back at school and most of the people didn't even want to pass by me. They were like, oyo bulijjo tetumanyi nti nno mufu. And of course, when they find out that I'm positive, they would always ask, then what about her sister? You mean her sister is negative, yet they are twins? You understand? So they would also stigmatize her in her own way. And the fact that we're in different classes, and I was a class below, so everyone would be stigmatized in the class they were. Then you would come and then they'll be, hey, welcome back, welcome back. But then it would just stay at that. Then the next time they don't even want to. Until they disappear. So that is how life went on at school, being stigmatized. And then we also started stigmatizing ourselves. We're like, after all, what are we even fighting for? Why are we even taking this medicine? But our mom would always be our source of strength. She would always tell us, it's not the end of the world. I've also been on this medicine longer than you, but I'm still living. So at some point we felt like we are just helping her so that she wouldn't cry just in case we die. Then we study and study and study and then join university. So I joined a certain institution. It was an art college somewhere there in Entebbe. And then because I had gotten used to, and in 2008, that is around senior 2, our ED starts up this organization, PINA Uganda, in full people in need agency. Then when she starts up this organization, it's just about creating hope and happiness so that you do not feel left out, you do not feel alone when you're there and you found out that now I'm positive. And then we completed school. Towards the end of our year, then our mom died. She fell sick, she had cancer, and then she passes on. So that was another huge blow in our life because she was our source of strength. But the good thing, our dad had already started coping up with the whole situation and he was very supportive. So then, after our mom dies, life had to go on. Then the following year, we get a chance to go abroad for a conference. And this conference was it's an AIDS conference. So there are always a lot of people from different countries. So when we reach at the conference, we see a lot of people who are positive from different countries, and they are very free with their lives. They don't want to know, they don't care whether you spread the rumor that they are positive. They are even free. They go to the televisions and the radios and share their stories openly. And it only bothers you if you want to go and gossip about them. That is your problem. So we're like, how did these guys get this strength? Then when we came back, we're like, no, we have to do what? We have to also make an impact. And that is when we started going publicly. My sister wore a shirt that had the word HIV positive. It was a very cute shirt with those pink words, HIV positive. So you would either wear it or not. Yes, so like I said, if you had any questions, you can forward them. But I would also give my sister a platform to talk a bit, to tell you something small, a word of encouragement.
It has been such a beautiful day at Jakayz Secondary School here in Lubowa. We had a chance to interact with these students. They are so open, they are so obedient, they are eager to learn. They have been the best so far. We had a chance of sharing our stories with them, growing up with HIV, the challenges that came along with it, and the achievements and where we are right now. And yes, we did have a question and answer approach like you've seen. It has been really exciting. They had very, very educative and very inspiring questions that you wouldn't even imagine. But we are really, really very humbled to have held this outreach at Jakayz Secondary School, and we are looking forward to more of such outreaches out there.
My name is Rotusha Graham, and I'm from Jakayz Secondary School, found at Kabawa, and I'm 15 years. We've been having a guidance about HIV, so I want to thank the school for thinking about the students and helping us to bring these guests, because they've really helped us, and especially me, because I have some friends out there who also need help, like the one they've given me today. I've learned that when my friend is in problems, I shouldn't just leave her or laugh at her or gossip about her. I should keep her safe, encourage her, and make sure that she goes on the right track, not repeating her same mistakes. I've learned that when a person has HIV, the person can still live happily and maybe die happily, because it's not like it's the end of the world. And if you have HIV and you take your medicine very well, you can still be like a normal person and still fit in the society.
I'm KIRUNDA MAHAD, and I'm coming from Jakayz Secondary School, Kawawa, and I'm a Timekeeper, Senior 2. From the session, I've known that it is not always good to discriminate those who have HIV, and if we understand that they have, we have to bring them closer and socialize with them so that they don't feel neglected in the community, so that they feel free in the community and they love the society. And in case if that person has just acquired the HIV virus, we have to advise them on how to solve the matter and how to take the drugs if we knew. I would like to advise the students out there, the only measure of preventing HIV to a school-going child is through abstinence. However, HIV can be acquired through other ways, for example, accidents and using sharp objects. So it is very wise for a school-going child to abstain.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank Jakayz Secondary School for really having children that have very big hearts towards those that are in need. We have so many underprivileged children. We have girls who have been sexually abused, but they have nothing to wear, they have nothing to use. They need basic necessities. We have children who are living with HIV, they're on medication, they have no food. And we want to thank this school in particular for having students who have a very, 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 very kind heart. And may God bless you abundantly for giving back to the community. And I hope that God blesses you abundantly, and you also have massive, massive blessings in this school. Thank you very much.